For one brief moment, Michigan had their guy sitting at the top of the board. The crowd was electric. The hometown kid had just laid down a lap that silenced every doubt. And then one more car rolled onto the track. One more lap. One more gut punch. And just like that, Denny Hamlin did what Denny Hamlin does. He took it. Carson Hocevar, Michigan native, one of the hottest young names in NASCAR right now, went out in qualifying at his home track and grabbed the provisional pole. The crowd went absolutely wild. Denny Hamlin, running last in the qualifying order, went out and posted a faster lap. No drivers left. No second chance. Pole gone. That is the entire story in 3 sentences. But what it means goes a whole lot deeper. There is a twist, though. Hamlin's team has to make repairs to a damaged splitter on a number 11 car before Sunday, which means he drops to the rear of the field for the race. Hocevar will still lead the field to green. He just will not get credit for the pole position in any record book. Carson Hocevar is not just another young driver grinding through the Cup Series. He races with a physicality and an edge that reminds longtime NASCAR fans of an era they thought was gone. The Dale Earnhardt Sr. Comparisons are not manufactured by a PR team. They come from the people in the grandstands who grew up watching black number, door banging, take no prisoners racing. When Hocevar gets to Michigan, a track essentially in his backyard, that connection intensifies. These fans are not casual observers rooting for a driver they discovered on social media. They're invested in the way only hometown crowds could be personally, emotionally, generationally. So when Hocevar's name hit the top of that board in qualifying, it was not just a number on a timing sheet. It was a moment the Michigan faithful had been waiting for, and then Hamlin erased it. To make it sting even more, Hocevar's day was already bruised before qualifying even began. Earlier in the Truck Series race, debris on his grill cost him a competitive finish, a race he had a genuine shot at before mechanical bad luck intervened. 2 opportunities at his home track, 2 painful outcomes. Let us talk about what Denny Hamlin actually represents in this sport right now, because the villain framing is not just entertainment, it is accurate. Hamlin is at 62 wins and 50 pole awards. Both of those numbers place him in territory that very few drivers in the modern era have reached. That is not a product of luck or favorable scheduling. That is 20+ years of elite-level performance inside the Joe Gibbs racing system, with a consistency that does not get discussed enough because Hamlin has never won a championship, despite contending for one repeatedly. That unfinished business is part of what makes him dangerous. He is a future Hall of Famer racing with something to prove every single weekend. Now, the strategic layer here, Hamlin starts at the back on Sunday due to the splitter repair. That changes the calculus for Hocevar entirely. He leads the field to green, which in terms of track position and early race strategy matters enormously at a high-speed oval like Michigan. Tire strategy, early pit cycles, clean air, all of that potentially works in Hocevar's favor before Hamlin can work his way through the field. But here's the risk. Hamlin at the back of a field is not a contained threat, it is a slow-building one. By the time the race reaches its critical stage, there is a reasonable chance he has carved back to the front. And if he does, the headline writes itself. The villain came from last place to beat the hometown kid on his own track. Is it smart for Hocevar to use this as fuel? Absolutely. Anchor channel correctly is one of the most powerful forces in motorsports. But if it pushes him into impatient decisions early in the race, aggressive moves before the moment is right, it could cost him more than a pole position. Michigan fans are not going to forget this quickly. There is something uniquely frustrating about watching a qualifying session where your driver held the top spot for the better part of the session, only to lose it on the very last lap of the very last car. It is not like being beaten in a race where adjustments could have been made. It is a single moment, final and clean, with no recourse. Hamlin's post-game comment, the near-pinched fingers, the faint apology, the "I get it," was delivered with the precision of someone who absolutely does get it and knows exactly how it lands. He referenced his own experience chasing a home track pole back in 2006 and 2007. That is genuine empathy wrapped in the tone of a man who just took something from you and wants you to know he feels bad about it while holding it behind his back. Analysts will correctly point out that Hamlin's championship drought, combined with this kind of qualifying performance deep into his career, makes him one of the most compelling figures in the sport. Fans who do not root for him will use this moment as further evidence. Fans who do will say this is exactly why he belongs in the conversation. Hocevar channels every bit of Friday's frustration into Sunday's race. He manages his early track position advantage, stays disciplined through the first half, and puts together a run that has Michigan on its feet. Whether or not he wins, a top 5 or better at his home track resets the narrative. The pole loss becomes a footnote to a breakout performance on the biggest stage he has had in front of his own crowd. Hamlin, starting from the rear, does exactly what elite veterans do, methodically picks through traffic, avoids contact, and arrives at the front just as the race turns decisive. He wins or contends for the win at the track where Hocevar desperately needed a moment. The Michigan crowd goes home having watched their guy get outrun twice in one weekend by the same driver who already took the pole. And the story about the villain and the hometown hero gets another chapter, just not the one anyone in those grandstands wanted. Here is the real question heading into Sunday. Can Carson Hocevar do something with the track position he was handed, even if the record books will not give him credit for earning it? Or does Denny Hamlin complete one of the more quietly ruthless weekends a veteran has put together at a track that was never his home crowd? Michigan deserves a great race, Hocevar deserves a great result, and Hamlin has never once cared about what anybody else deserves. Tell us below, does Hocevar have what it takes to answer back on Sunday? And where does this rivalry rank among the best veteran versus young gun storylines going right now in NASCAR? Drop your take in the comments. And if this is the kind of breakdown you want every race weekend, you know where that subscribe button lives.